Hi there, that's right, it's the great and glorious, soon to be famous one Indy Dutch, back on the camera yet again, one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? I haven't actually done a weird heebie-jeebie type occult video for a fair long period of time. I just wanted to return back to the history of this channel. Obviously, I did my now well-known, well-famous demonology video way back in the day when I was still sat behind this one particular table where the camera is now. But the camera in question I was using was pretty crappy by comparison, the audio was even worse than it is right now, and I was sitting on a stack of books and only had one little reading lamp for the illumination. So obviously this is a massive upgrade. So I'll tell you about an instance of self-healing. Before I do that, I'm just going to give you the disclaimer very quickly. Do not, under any circumstances, just rely upon complementary medicines. Alright, they're called complementary medicines for a reason, namely they're there to complement something else. So if there's something wrong with you, then go to the doctor anyway, go to the hospital, whatever it is you have to do, use the ordinary means, as well as your complementary therapies, okay? There is a big difference between complementary therapies and alternative therapies, and there's a very good reason for that. And people often get those two things confused, so make sure you get that straight in your head. This is a complementary form of medicine rather than necessarily a replacement for regular orthodox medicine. The healing exercise in question was done on my eyeballs. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, I've got a history with my eyeballs. Yes, I know, I've had them for my entire life. No, seriously, I've got a health history with my eyeballs. Many years ago, I had an instance with caustic soda, and I had to get my eyeballs irrigated in the accident and emergency departments of my local hospital. So I know that looking after your eyes is really important. A while ago, I was trying to be good, did a lot of cleaning, a lot of tidying, also did the garden as well, and got grit in both my eyes. So I hoped I managed to wash the grit out afterwards, but I still had like an itchy feeling in my eyeballs. So what I thought I'd do is I'd try and do some self-healing on them. So I went to bed at night and got myself nice and comfortable. I'd had myself a cup of tea before going to bed, so I would make sure that I'm relatively conscious whilst doing the exercise. And whilst I was laying in bed in my normal, comfortable, I'm about to get off to sleep type position, I went into meditation. And I did that through basically chanting to myself, chilling out, trying to have religious ideas in my mind to try and create that slightly transcendental feeling which goes with the weird religious stuff, okay? And I then tried to generate an emotion. The emotion I tried to generate was that of love. And I used words such as love and prayer in my mantra to try and bring me to a state of mind, to try and induce that state of mind with greater ease. The mantra and meditation bit went on for quite a period of time. Obviously I was curled up in bed, so I wasn't looking at my stopwatch or looking at my alarm clock to verify how many minutes I was doing this for. But essentially that's what I was. I was curled up in bed doing all of this meditation stuff inside my head. I then tried to hold my focus of awareness on my eyes. One is tempted to use the word concentrate when one is talking about this sort of things, like I concentrated upon my eyes. But does the word concentrate actually sum up the feeling and emotion of holding your attention upon your eyes? Not really, basically. It just doesn't seem to fit somehow. So I'm using the phrase hold my attention upon my eyes. So I was doing my meditation, I was holding my attention upon my eyes, so I was becoming much more sensitive to my eyeballs. I was using the emotion of love and prayer and that sort of weird new agey stuff. And I was trying to send, for want of a better word, those emotions into my eyes. Now a couple of strange things happened, and the first one that I'll relate to you is a moment of warmth which sort of came and then went very quickly. But this feeling of warmth is not just the warmth of being curled up in bed. It's the same kind of warmth which I feel when someone's doing a spiritual healing upon me. It's like this feeling of electricity plus warmth. It's not just your circulation, it's almost like a form of radiant heat or something close to that. And it occurred just on the inside of my left eye. And that was interesting and strange and unexpected. I then felt a sense of not only being much more aware of my eyes, but it's like I could highlight with much greater ease and accuracy where various scratches were on my eyeballs, and I could feel them and feel where the slight, very, the kind of discomfort which you wouldn't normally feel, but which is possibly there through wear and tear, might possibly be around the eyes. And I carried on sending this emotion of love into my eyes, and this sort of healing feeling came back, this warm, electric kind of energy, for want of a better word, surrounded and permeated my eyes. I could feel the sensation, and the emotion was so pleasant that I could not help smiling. There was me smiling, and it's like, well, approaching a blissed out, loved out state of mind, and it was really very, very, very nice indeed. Now, I can't guarantee that there's been any health benefit upon my eyes. I've got no apparatus in my flat to be able to measure whether there has been an improvement in the health of my eyes, or my eyes' ability to deal with stuff, or whether there's even been a minuscule quantity of healing as a result of me doing the exercise. But the experience itself was really rather fascinating, and it would imply, well, it seems to imply that possibly through psychosomatic means one can assist an existing healing routine that's basically happening. Anyway, I just thought I'd relate that back to you. The sensations were delightfully peculiar and incredibly tranquil, and I would recommend you give it a go. Not to prove that these healing energies exist. I mean, if this is psychosomatic, well, I'm tempted to say it works, but of course that's the wrong phrase. If it is psychosomatic and it can have some minuscule benefit to help to augment existing healing, then obviously that could potentially be marginally beneficial. I mean, if your health is affected by lots of little vector forces in various different directions, pulling you towards health or ill health or all the rest of that, then if you can just add one more factor into the equation, then maybe, just maybe, that might help. I don't know. But that's something for you to think about today. Good fortune, God and or Goddess, and on none of the above bless. Nick Dutch signing out for now.